Hi, and welcome to another video by Jim the Car Guy. As you can see, I'm not in the shop. I'm actually on the way up to Bayonne right now. It's going to be probably about another 45 minutes or so before I get there, so I figured I'd take this opportunity to talk to you about something that's been bugging me for a while now, and I just want to get your opinion on it, and anybody who has their own shop or whatever would like to, add their 2 cents to it, that would be great. This is the problem I have. I find myself doing things in business that I would have never done 10 years ago. 10 years ago, if you would have told me that I'm doing half the stuff that I'm doing now, I would have said you're crazy. I would never do that. But this is the biggest thing that bugs me a little bit. With technology comes, or I should say, with technology comes information, and you can shop different parts and different procedures and all that kind of stuff. So, and the reason I'm making this video is because it's come to my attention a couple of different things. One we're going to talk about is something with a starter on a Honda, which actually was presented to me by somebody actually through an email, and we'll talk about that at another day. But today what I want to talk about is that I have people that bring their vehicles into me, and I usually am very good with the customers when it comes to parts and labor. My labor is usually whatever it calls for on the computer. Usually it's not the dealer time; it's whatever the regular time that the all data gives you. That's what I get. If it takes longer, yeah, you do pay sometimes a little bit extra, because if you run into a situation where something is rusted or a bolt is broken, of course that is additional, which I always explain to a customer before I even start on the job, that if everything goes according to plan, this is what the price is going to be. Sometimes things don't go according to plan. I've had incidents where bolts break off and you wind up having to drill them and tap them or whatever you have to do to get them out of there. And usually that's pretty good. But we will talk about that on another video. Maybe on the way home we'll talk about that one. But this one I want to talk about a customer that came to me not long ago, and they brought their vehicle in and they wanted me to give them a price on what a brake job would cost. No big deal. So you get the car on the lift, you pull the wheels off of it, you get prices on it, and true to form, as with almost every car today, you do have to change the rotors, because most of the time the rotors are no good. They're either scored or rusted or whatever the case may be, a pulsating pedal or whatever. 99% of the time you need to change the rotors as well. So I called the customer, gave him a price on what the rotors would cost, a good quality rotor, not some of the junk that's out there nowadays. I also gave him a price on a good quality brake pad. As you guys know, the brake pads that I like myself are either the Monroe or the Wagner thermal quiets. I do use others, but those are my go-to brakes all the time. So I gave the guy a price on it. I explained to him the different qualities and parts, and he says, let me call you back. I'm just going to talk it over with my wife, and I'll get right back to you. Well, about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I get a phone call from the guy, and he says to me that he doesn't want to do the job, that he wants to put it back together and take the car, and he's just going to think about it. So when somebody says they're going to think about it, I know what they're doing is they're shopping the price around to see if they can get a better price someplace else. So I always explain to them about the quality in parts and what the quality in rotors are going to be. And so anyhow, the guy says, when he comes down, I talk to him, and he says to me, well, he says that the price on the parts are much higher. I can get them online at one of these larger places that you can order brake parts and any kind of automotive parts online. So I said, I understand that they are a lot cheaper, but I said the products I use, I said I will show you the bill, what I pay for it. I usually give my customers whatever the part cost me. I usually give them the part at very, very close to what it cost me. So I show him the information. I tell him what we're going to get, and he says, well, I got this price. I'm just going to throw out a number to you. My brake pad price was $50. He comes back with a brake pad price of like $18. And I said to him, well, I said, there is a big difference in quality with these. The pads that I'm using are top quality. It comes with the hardware. It comes with everything on it. It comes with, a lot of times it comes with the shims built onto the back of them or bonded onto the back of them. But he wanted to go with the cheaper stuff. So I said, all right, no problem. We'll put the car back together. You can go ahead. Oh, he asked me would I be willing to put the brakes on the vehicle if he supplies the brakes and the rotors to me. Now that's what I would have 10 years ago. I would have never done that. I would have said no. If I don't supply the parts, I don't do the job. Period. That's it. Take it or leave it. But now with business being the way it is, I've changed over the years, and I decided that I will put the parts on that the customers bring to me and install. So I put the job back together, the car leaves, and he did. He actually ordered the brakes online and everything, and he gets the brakes. He calls me up and he says, I have the brakes, I have the rotors, and, I got the hardware kit separately for it because it didn't come with the brake pads, which was good. So I said, no problem, and he decides he's going to bring the car in on a specific day. I said to him on the phone, I said, listen, I'm assuming that the parts that you got are the correct parts, but if I get the vehicle on the lift and I take the car apart and go to put the brake pads and rotors onto the vehicle and they don't fit, at that point we have two choices. One, you're going to pay me to put the job back together, and you're going to owe me the labor to do the job. And the other way we're going to do it is that when I have it on the lift, at that point, if it's the wrong stuff, I'll show you what's wrong about it. I'll explain to you what's wrong about it. But then I need to order the parts from my parts store so I can get the job done and out the door. So he said, that's fair. He said, yeah, that's good. We can do that. So I get the vehicle on the lift. I take the vehicle apart. I go to put the brake pads. I take them out. I look at them. They're wrong brake pads. So at that point, I know if it's the wrong brake pads, chances are it's going to be the wrong rotors. True to form, I knock the rotor off the vehicle. I put them up side by side, and sure enough, the height of the hub is a little bit different, about 1/4 of an inch difference, which is not going to work because when you put it back together, it's going to touch into the mounting bracket, and we're going to have a problem. So I call the guy up and I tell him what's going on, and he says, let me call up the company and find out, how quickly I can get them. He calls me back. He says the quickest I can get them is going to take 2 days for me to get them. Can the car stay on the lift so he doesn't have to pay to put it back together? And I said, no, I can't leave a vehicle sitting on my lift for 2 days while you try to get the right parts for it. I said, they gave you the wrong parts once. What's to say they're not going to give you the wrong parts a second time? And at that point, the guy was getting pretty disturbed because now he realizes he's going to wind up paying more money for stuff that he didn't want to pay. The end result was I wound up putting the job back together, putting his old stuff back on the car, and sending the car out the door. And believe it or not, I lost a customer because of that. He cursed me out up and down because he said I was trying to, in plain English, F him and take advantage of him. So at that point, I said, I gotta discuss this with you guys and tell you what's going on. I figured, it's just insane. But I find myself doing things like this all the time. It's like, people will bring me another incident I had is somebody had brought me a starter motor, and I put a starter in the vehicle for the guy. I get the vehicle in, I put the starter in. Now this customer came to me and they said to me, I want you to put this starter in my car. And I said, well, what's the problem with it? He said, well, it won't start, so, I need to have the starter replaced. I said, really? I said, if you're going to have the vehicle towed down to me, I should really take a look at it and figure out what's wrong with the vehicle before you go ahead and just throw a starter in the vehicle. And as it turned out, it was not his starter. I did have the vehicle towed down, and it was actually just a problem with the cables. The cable going right by the positive part of the battery. There was a bad connection in there where this guy had assumed it was going to be a bad starter. All right, so I just wanted to talk to you about stuff like that. So getting back to the guy with the brakes. Okay, so getting back to the guy with the brakes. A little while goes by, and now all of a sudden one day I get a phone call from this same guy that cursed me out up and down, telling me I was trying to F him and take advantage of him. What he found out is that he took it to other places to have the work done, and they wouldn't even touch the vehicle when he supplied his own parts. So the end result was I wound up doing the brakes with my own parts, and I should have did it, but I did. I actually took the labor off for him the last time to pull the vehicle apart and to put it all back together for free. I wound up, just to satisfy him, to keep him as a customer, I wound up go ahead and do the brake job using my parts and the good quality stuff, and taking care of the job correctly. Was he happy? I think so. Would you have done the same thing? I'm not really sure. I think I did the right thing by telling him that I would. Sorry about that. That was Mrs. Jim the car guy finding out my ETA to get to work. All right, so that's it. That was my rant of the day. Let me know what you think about this video, and if you think I should continue to make these videos to and from work, so we can talk about the everyday problems that go on in the shop. All right, so got a little bit more to go to work. I think I'm going to stop and get a cup of coffee, and going to get our day started. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.